So we're back with TJ Watt of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And TJ, probably the overriding thing toward the end of this season with the Pittsburgh Steelers that totally fascinated me. Mike Tomlin bit my head off in training camp when I suggested that maybe, possibly, perhaps, this could be the first year that his Pittsburgh Steelers did not have, a non-losing season, or I'm sorry, had a losing season after all these years. Tell me, why were you guys able, through a bunch of hiccups during the season, to finish the year so strong and to be, even though at the end you're not playing for anything, still playing like it's the 7th game of the World Series?
Because he got guys to buy in, and we all believed in each other, and we knew that the product that we were putting out in the field wasn't a reflection of how hard we were working. And it came in a lot of different ways, a lot of different types of meetings, different ways of motivating different guys, and that's something that Coach T is so good at. And it was with a lot of padded practices, and just guys buying in more than anything. And as the weeks got on, as you start to win 1 game, 2 games down the stretch, you realize that we can hang with the best of them, and we just started to get more and more confidence. We just kind of ran out of time at the end.
I wonder, you had 2 rookies, the rookie quarterback and the rookie wide receiver. And what I found so interesting about watching Kenny Pickett, you always hear this about rookie quarterbacks, that, they really do get better as the year went along. And by the end of the season, I said, I actually think this guy might be the answer. He might be the quarterback here for a long time. And obviously, George Pickens was really good from day one, kind of probably allowed you to trade Chase Claypool. Tell me from the other side of the line what you saw in those 2 guys.
Guys that came to work every day, worked hard. I think George Pickens is one of those guys that's like, I don't know if he really understands how good he is. It's like, holy cow, some of the things that you see in practice. But it's also on top of that, it's the little things like finishing plays, running. He can run for days. Kenny Pickett getting better each and every week, commanding 2-minute drills back in training camp. You can just see the progression. Then you come to the Ravens game down the stretch where he was able to lead the team down the field. And we just had feeling that, hey, we're going to score this, we're going to get on defense, and we're going to win this game. So it's just little things like that it's all about gaining respect through teammates, through work, and those guys came to work every day.
You bring up the Ravens, and I've always gotten such a great kick out of going to Steelers-Ravens games, because they feel like the old days where players hated each other's guts. And everything now is so friendly in so many ways with a lot of teams. But I'm just curious, why is that rivalry so sort of everlasting? What is it about Steelers-Ravens that makes it particularly intense?
I think it's with the history. You go back and we always talk about a lot of the rules where the lowering the helmet or hitting over the middle of the field, a lot of those were instituted because of Steelers-Ravens games.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of been passed on from team to team over the years. We have so many former players that always come around. That's the great thing about being a Pittsburgh Steeler. You have so many former greats that are willing to come back and give their time to the team and let you know, like, hey, this isn't just a regular week. This is Baltimore Ravens week. So a lot of intensity always into those games.
I wanted to ask you 2 things about this game in particular. I wonder, just from the sense of being a football player, when you watched Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know how closely, did you watch the AFC Championship game?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Not as attentively as if, like, my brother was playing it, but
Yeah,
I had it on for sure.
But I find it, the week before the game, Tom Brady called Mahomes, and he said to him, when he knew he was playing with the high ankle sprain and, kind of bitching out Andy Reid on the sidelines, telling me, you're not taking me out of this game and all that. I find it that's like something like what Brady would do. And Brady actually called Mahomes and said, basically, that's what I'm talking about. That's what champions do, play in games like this when everybody's telling them, go get x-rayed, go do this. Just from a professional pride point of view, when you watch another player do that, does it prompt a lot of respect from you, or do you think that practically everybody does it and it's no big deal?
It's hard to say because everybody's different. There's definitely a respect aspect of it, and it's also understanding that how short this window is to A, play football, but to B, play contending football, and to have an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl and to be playing in these big games. So it is a respect thing, and if you're in that situation, you hope that you can gut it out as best as you possibly can, but it's also the same thing where if a guy's not out there, it lets you know that the guy is in really bad shape. So
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of both.
We were talking before we started about Juju Smith-Schuster, and I said, wow, I don't know how they're going to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. I saw him walk off the field, and walk is a relative term. He was being helped off the field, and I said, man, how's he going to be ready to play in 2 weeks? But you saw a lot of that in Pittsburgh out of Juju.
Yeah, I have all the respect in the world for Juju, especially as a football player and as a teammate. I know a lot of people always see the viral videos and the TikToks, but the guy loves football. He loves his teammates. He works hard. And guys are always putting their bodies on the line. And I feel like sometimes people don't realize how hard a full NFL season is on your body. And like you were saying about Juju, putting him back together, quote unquote, he's going to do whatever it possibly takes to be as healthy as possible, not just for himself, but for his team, to put them in the best position to win the game.
I thought it was so cool this year. I saw him in training camp, and he was just like totally effervescent. You know, he loved playing with Ben, obviously, but he loved being with Mahomes in part because he was learning every spot on the line. He was playing wide. He's even, playing obviously in the slot. But he strikes me as the type of guy you want guys like that on your team because he just enjoys life and enjoys football.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you only have so much time to play this game. And sometimes you have to remind yourself that, hey, I am living the dream. I am getting paid handsomely to play a game that if I was a child, I would be the happiest in the world that I'm doing what I'm doing. And so many people would give their left arm to be playing in the National Football League, to be playing these big-time games, and to be doing what you love for a living. And that's why it's so fun to see guys that understand that and appreciate that and love to practice, love to grind. And stuff like that is contagious in a building, and I think that's what you see with Juju.
Knowing your brother the way you do, and knowing that obviously he had the same affection for football that you have right now, obviously, and your brother, J.J. Watt, retired at the end of this season. What do you think he's going to miss the most about playing football?
I mean, you obviously know that, the locker room, the guys, the relationships, the camaraderie of being a part of something bigger than yourself, but it's also the continuous chase for something. That's what you talk about when guys get out of the NFL. It's like you have to find something to chase to motivate you because you're no longer going to having a workout where you're pushing through, and that's what I ask him now. I'm like, what are you doing an extra rep for? Like, what's the reasoning? Now you can skip reps. Now you don't have to worry about it. So that's a question.
Is he still working out like a banshee?
Oh, of course he's working out like a banshee. I'm like, his brother-in-law is Brian Cushing, and they were working out together in Houston the other day, and I was like, that's not good. You guys are just going to push yourself until someone gets hurt or something bad happens, and there's going to be no explanation for it as to why you pushed yourself so hard because you don't have a game coming up. So it's funny. You'd have to ask him that question.
Do you think he's going to be tempted if somebody would ring his phone in late August? Will he be tempted to come back?
I don't know. I really don't think so, but that's a question for him. I don't know the honest answer to that.
Yeah. One more football thing, and then we'll get to Invisalign because obviously everyone is watching this to make sure they learn about T.J. Watt and Invisalign. But I'm really kind of fascinated by the Kelsey brothers. Mm-hmm. And we have talked in the past about how important it was to have both Derek and JJ in your life because they were people who you saw who were doing what you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And if they can do it, why can't I do it? I eat the same cereal as they do and all that stuff. Yeah. And the Kelseys are so interesting because there's obviously a little bit of an age gap, but I wonder What is it about, do you think, about brothers, and particularly in football, where you see your brother do it and you push yourself and you know that you can do it?
Yeah, it's through all the competition through growing up. Our house is the competitive house. So I was the youngest. So JJ is 5.5 older than me. Derek's 2 years older than me. So it was constantly being around competition and always being knocked on my butt and having to get up and dust myself off and try to compete again. And as you get older, you realize that that's the kind of stuff that shaped you. And you realize that, yes, your brothers were giving you a hard time all throughout life, but at the end of the day, as you get older, they're willing to mentor you and let you in on all the secrets and things that are going to make you better. And I give Jade and Derek a lot of credit. They could have kept all their knowledge themselves and said, figure it out yourself. But they opened the door to me, and they showed me the blueprint to how to be a successful athlete, how to be a successful person handling the media in the community, to be able to give back. And not many people get that opportunity to, A, get to witness it, but B, get to be able to try to live it as well, following in their footsteps. And just forever grateful for my brothers and our relationship.
So a lot of times we see athletes who come to the Super Bowl and they are representing company X, Y, or Z.
Mm-hmm.
But they're representing the company, but they're not necessarily using the product. You're here for Invisalign.
Yes.
And you actually use the product. Explain to me, for people who've heard of Invisalign, don't know what it is, explain to me how you got involved and why you're using it.
Yeah, so I'm actually wearing my Invisalign aligners right now. It's hard to tell that you're wearing them.
You can't even see it.
That's one of the nice things about it is a lot of guys in the locker room have teeth treatment, whether it's braces or whether it's Invisalign aligners. And I knew I wanted to fix my teeth so that when I came and spoke to you, I wasn't all self-conscious and able to speak. But it was just with braces, you have those emergency appointments that you have to deal with. And as a football player, I don't have time to be able to do those emergency appointments, especially if I have a practice the next day or a game. So I went with the Invisalign aligners. I can pop them out, have a snack, toss them back in. All of my teammates have them as well, so I'm able to follow along on their journey as long as mine. And,
how long do you have to wear it?
Just a couple months, honestly. I'm almost done with mine, so my teeth were definitely, I wasn't smiling as much as I am now. It's helped me a lot with being comfortable with my smile and being super happy, and it's been fun treatment.
So do you basically, you start to use it and there is an end date in mind?
Correct, yes.
When you start it?
Yep.
Yeah.
They give you, however, depending on how your teeth are and what you're trying to accomplish, they give you a start date and then an end date of what you can do.
Yeah. TJ, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time. Thanks. And I wish you a much longer and successful career. And I really hope that when you get out of the game, you are able to leave a trail the way your brother did.
Thank you very much. That's the goal for sure.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.